Hi, everybody. Oh, goodness. I always have to straighten up my office a little bit before I get on live. So this is live and up close and personal dating over 50. I'm Michelle Burkhart, your dating coach, and I'm going to just try to fix this a little bit. So I always want to come to you live with my own experiences and actually talk about dating. And it's so funny because just because you're a dating coach doesn't mean that in your dating doesn't mean that you have great dates or have always have great experiences. And I think that's really how we learn. Actually, we learn more by the things we do wrong than the things we do right. So, which is horrible in a way, but it is what it is. So, I wanted to share an experience that I had with you. I don't even know where to start, honestly. It's just about Gary. I met Gary on Match. I'm only on one dating app. Sorry about this. There. Well, you can see my nasties there. Okay, there we go. So I'm only on one dating app right now. Usually I'm on two, but I'm losing weight, and I thought, well, I'm just going to let everything kind of wind down, and I'm going to start fresh after the holidays. So I met Gary on Match, and I think he reached out to me first. I don't remember, honestly. And so the way I usually work is we talk, chat through the dating app, and then we talk on the phone, and then we get to go on a date. So we did. That's what we did. So the phone conversation was really nice. He was really nice. I thought, okay, yeah, we'll do that. So we met and we went to Cheesecake Factory for lunch. When I walked in, I was pretty disappointed. He's in kind of a ratty pair, not ratty, but worn pair of blue jeans and a t-shirt, not really looking that like he really put much effort into it. And I wear jeans. I'm very casual, especially on my first date. And so I'm fine with the jeans, but I put effort into it. I wear a cute shirt, put some makeup on, that kind of thing. So I thought, oh, I'm kind of disappointed, but that's all right. No big deal. So we had lunch and it was fun. It was really fun. We had a good time. We seemed to have a lot in common. So, and then I made this weird comment. He said, "Hey, do you think we'll see each other again?" I said, "Well, if you wear a collared shirt," which was not really the best thing to say. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty tacky. Um, but it just kind of slipped out. I'm direct and sometimes it just slipped out. So, he was okay with that comment. It didn't really affect him. And so he called me and we went on a second date, right? And so both of us were commenting about how easy we were to talk. It was to talk with one another. And he wanted me to take him clothes shopping because he's like, I don't really know how to dress. Will you go with me? And I said, well, sure. And I thought that was really kind of cute that he wanted to do that. So we spent like the whole day. We didn't end up going shopping because he wanted to go someplace else. It's a long story. I won't bore you with that. But we ended up going to dinner. Then what we did a little shopping, went to dinner, then did a wine tasting, and then we came back to my house. And at my house, I'm not going to lie, it got a little, romantic because I was attracted to him. Um, we did not sleep together, but we were definitely getting romantic. And I thought this guy is so nice. It's like, yeah, he talks about his money a little bit more than I think is nice. It's kind of weird. And he talks about sex a lot because he's definitely very pro sex, but I am too. So once you're exclusive, I'm okay with that. So, but I thought, yeah, we had a lot in common. He was fun. We had a lot in common. Um, we had physical attraction. So I'm really thinking that we've got something to build on here. So then we planned this for this coming weekend to go shopping actually at the store he wanted to go to. And so we kind of were playing phone tag back and forth this week. And so finally we had a chance to talk. I needed to tell him that I had to be back by 2 because things are by 5. Things changed. I needed to watch my grandson, yada, yada, yada. So we're playing phone tag. So finally we connect and he's like, well, and we're talking and he's like, well, there's something that I wanted to talk to you about too. I want to be perfectly honest, he says. Well, when anybody says that, then you know you're in trouble. right? You know you're in trouble when somebody says, I want to be perfectly honest. So the gist of it is, and he just kept digging a hole once he started. He said, I'm attracted to you. And I was like, yeah. And he said, but I think you would feel a lot better if you lost some weight. And I was like, really? Interesting. And then he goes on to say, well, if I would have realized how big you are, I wouldn't have reached out to you in the first place. And I said, well, I had a full length picture of me on Match. Why would you have even reached out if you didn't like my body type? And he said, well, I guess I didn't see that. So, I mean, he went on to say, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never had that happen to me before. Yes. And this is like, I lost 15 pounds. So imagine what he would have said if I was 15 pounds heavier. Right. So I was like, And I said, well, sex is off the table. And he's like, what do you mean? You're going to do it in the dark? And I was like, no, we're not going to do it at all. And he's like, well, why? I'm like, because you don't like my body. I'm like, why in the world would I get naked in front of somebody who didn't like my body? Well, that was weird. He didn't know what to say about that. And I said, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. Let me feel my way through this a little bit. And he's like, well, all of the girls I date are fit. And I'm thinking, you need to stop talking now, right? You need to stop talking. And so I hung up. I said, I got to go. It's like I hung up. I was like, I wasn't sure what to make of it. For one thing, I was shocked that anybody would say that. I have dated hundreds of men, frankly, hundreds. I don't know how many hundreds, but at least one, right? 100. And nobody has ever said that to me before, honestly. On one hand, I was glad he said that because I knew I'm heavy. I mean, everybody knows if you're heavy, you're heavy, right? And I am working on it. But it was interesting to know that could be putting off some men. So that part I was grateful for. But if he doesn't like me the way I am, what good are we? I mean, it's like if he won't like, oh, and then he said, yeah, we wouldn't have eaten lunch. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, now you're going to start monitoring what I eat. So after I thought about it for about 5 or 10 minutes, I just wrote him back a text. I didn't want to talk to him. And I just said, if you don't like me the way I am, then now, the way I am now, before I lose 20 more pounds, then it's just not, I don't think we have as much in common as I thought we did. And I just said, I'm going to be moving on and best of luck to you. And usually when I move on, this one hurt. I'm not going to lie. This one kind of hurt because I liked him. I thought we had somewhere to go. Even though there were some things that came out in that conversation that I didn't like. But this one was a little bit like, but then I thought again, he's only known me a day. He doesn't even really know me. I'm not letting this bother me at all. So it was exciting while it happened. He was probably the most financially comfortable man I've ever dated, which was really good for me because now I know, like, it just like exposed me to men who spend money. So that was really good. I mean, not money. I mean, I don't go out with cheapskates, but this man was very, very, very generous, let's say. I mean, not to me, but like to the wait staff and that kind of thing. And he didn't hesitate to spend money if he wanted to go like that wine tasting, that kind of thing. That was really good. So, I really sit back and I take the good and I take the things that I learned from it and I move on. And I just move on. So, I just wanted to share this with you. I know it was a little long, but I wanted to share it with you because I think it's important that you realize. If you want to hear more, I am going to start talking about my personal experiences more. So, if you want to do more, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is it's here. So just go ahead and do that. And I will see you next time. And you know what? Always, 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 always realize that you are always enough for the right man. I love you. Bye.